Today we'll be starting a very interesting topic, which is nutrition in humans. In the previous video we studied about nutrition in amoeba. The difference between both of them is very huge, as the uptake of nutrition in amoeba is very simple, whereas in human being it is very complicated, or you can say it is very complex. Digestion starts with the mouth and goes in various organs. As you all know, human beings are multicellular, whereas amoeba was unicellular. So along with digestive organs, there are many glands which helps in the digestion of the food, which are salivary gland, liver and pancreas. I've already told you the 5 processes which involves in the nutrition in animal. So one by one we'll be studying about each process. The first one is ingestion. The ingestion starts as soon as you intake food in your mouth. This ingestion involves the breaking down of food, and breaking down of food is carried out with the help of different teeth which is present in your mouth. So let us study which all teeth we have and what are the names of the teeth. The first teeth is incisor. They are also called as biting teeth. Suppose you all are eating a Dairy Milk chocolate. So for that, you cannot eat the full Dairy Milk chocolate if it is a huge one. First thing is you need to take a bite. So the first bite which you take it from the teeth which are present in the front. So those front teeth, as you can see in this picture, is called as incisor. Now, the second teeth is canine teeth, and they have very sharp edges, as you can see in this picture, and what they do, they tear the food. These kind of teeth you will also find in many animals which are carnivorous, so that they can tear the flesh of the animals. The same thing is with human being. Canine teeth are present in human being as well for tearing of the food. Then the third one is premolar. Premolar comes before molar, therefore they are called as premolar. Pre matlab before, which comes first, and then the second one comes. So they have bordered surface and therefore helps to chew and grind the food. Now after premolar, the teeth which come is molar. They are much brighter than the premolar teeth, and again the role is for chewing the food. Temporary, there are 20 teeth. What do you mean by temporary? The milk teeth are called as temporary teeth. So they are 20 in number, but later on the permanent teeth are 32 in number, and they are present in 2 sets of 16 each, and they are very well attached to your jaws, and it helps in the proper breakdown of the food, or you can say chewing of the food. The next thing which is present in your mouth is the tongue. If you look at the tongue, you will find that it is highly muscular, and whenever you're talking or you're eating something, what happens? Saliva is created. So that saliva helps in the proper chewing of the food. And whenever you want to swallow something, when you want to intake something, it is done with the help of tongue. So tongue is very important for all these things. Then it is also a sensory organ. When we were small in first standard, you must have studied the 5 sensory organs. Out of those organs, one was tongue, and what it senses the different taste of the food. And what are the different tastes? You all must have tasted sweet, salty, bitter and sour. So this was all about the ingestion which takes place in the mouth region. And as soon as the ingestion happens, after the chewing of food is done, with the help of tongue it is swallowed in the esophagus. So from esophagus, what start is the digestion process. So let us see what is digestion. As you can see in this picture, this is the overall digestive system. It starts from the mouth. We have just studied about the mouth. Now we'll be studying about other organs of the digestive system. The process of digestion starts in the mouth, as I told you. And what happens here? It mixes with the saliva. Then contains digestive juices that helps in the breakdown of starch into sugar. Here in the mouth region, the saliva helps in the breakdown of the food, and what it does, it converts the starch into sugar. Next step, what happens is The tongue helps in the swallowing of the food because the food becomes slimy due to the saliva, and it enters the esophagus. As you can see, this is mouth. After swallowing the food, it enters here, which is called as esophagus. Esophagus is also called as food pipe. Why it is called as food pipe? Because this is the place from where the food enters the stomach. Okay, so therefore it is called as food pipe. This long tubular structure makes the food pass in the stomach. This region is called as stomach. This organ is called as liver. What happens here in the stomach? Further digestion of food takes place in the stomach. The inner wall of the stomach secretes digestive juices. And what are the different digestive juices? Hydrochloric acid, mucus, and pepsin. And the digestive juice helps in the breakdown of the protein into simpler form. The protein which is present in the food is further broken down with the help of the digestive juices. Whenever we are taking in food, along with the food we also intake various microorganisms. Hydrochloric acid helps in this because hydrochloric acid is an acid which kills the microorganism, and after killing it, it also produces acidity in the medium. What is acidity? When you are eating something which is already acidic, after that when it reaches the stomach, your stomach also secretes hydrochloric acid. So due to too much of acid present in your stomach, it leads to acidity. This is a very common problem which people are facing. So this is the reason for the acidity, the high amount of hydrochloric acid in your stomach. When the stomach is secreting all the juices, converting the protein into simpler form, it is making the food semi-digested, and as soon as it enters the small intestine and large intestine, the further digestion takes place. So it is semi-digested, means half it is digested. Then this stomach, from the stomach the food enters to the small intestine. Small intestine are these organs which are present inside. You can see, don't get confused with the large intestine, though you will find large intestine covered all over, but the small intestine is present in the center. So you will write here small intestine. The digestion of the food takes place in the small intestine, where the secretion of the liver and pancreas are released. What do the liver secrete? It secretes a fluid which is called as bile, which plays a very important role in the digestion of fat. Whatever fatty food you all are eating, the bile which is secreted from the liver helps in the digestion of the fat. This bile is stored in an organ which is called as gallbladder. This green color region is called as gallbladder. So when the bile is produced from the liver, it enters and stores in the gallbladder, and from this gallbladder it is then secreted in the small intestine whenever it is necessary. After that, there is another organ which is present, which is called as pancreas. The pancreas are present over here. If you see this pink color part which I have made, this is called as pancreas. Okay, the pancreas. Now what is the role of pancreas? Pancreas secretes a juice which is called as pancreatic juice. This helps in the breakdown of the carbohydrates into sugar, protein, and into amino acids, and fats into fatty acid and glycerol. Here, very important thing I would like to explain is, You must have heard about people suffering from diabetes. Why they suffer from diabetes? It is because the pancreas secreting ample amount of pancreatic juice, and because of that, this further breakdown of carbohydrates into sugar, protein into amino acid, fats into fatty acids, and glycerol do not take place. And this is the reason why they suffer from diabetes. Then the next step after digestion takes place, which is absorption. What happens in absorption? When this further breakdown of food takes place in the small intestine, the nutrition is absorbed in the lining of the small intestine, and as I told you in the previous video, the small intestine has finger like projection, which you can see here, and this finger like projection is called as villi. This villi increases the surface area of the lining, which makes the process more effective. Each villus consists of fine blood vessels, and these blood vessels consist of blood, and this is the place where the nutrition is absorbed. After this, what happens is the material which is produced is called as chyme. This chyme is passed in the large intestine where the water and minerals are absorbed. Then the next process is assimilation. This is again very important process because here the nutrients which is absorbed by the blood are transported to different parts of the body, and each organ of your body is made up of cells, so it is basically absorbed by the cell. Here what happens, the final product, which is the carbohydrate, is broken down, or you can say it is digested. The glucose is broken down into carbon dioxide and water in the cell, as I told you before. This overall process takes place with the help of oxygen, and when this happens, the energy is released. The amino acid which is formed are used for repairing the tissues and the cell. Whichever tissue and cell is damaged or not functioning properly is repaired with the help of amino acid. And this is the place where the fatty acid and the glycerol is stored as a reservoir. Means whenever the energy is needed, it can be used. Then the next process is ingestion. This is the last step of nutrition in humans. So let us see what it is. The undigested food which is present in the large intestine becomes semi-solid, and then it enters the rectum. This is the rectum, the second last organ of the digestive system, and after that, after rectum, it reaches to the anus, and from the anus it is released out. This was all about the digestion in human. Very easy tip I would like to give you. If you want to learn this process by heart, you need to understand the diagram. So you have to draw this diagram of digestive system in human being in your practical notebook, as this will be your homework, and show it to me without fail. If you have liked my video, do subscribe my channel for latest video and updates. Thank you.